David and his friends decided to try the Randonautica app one night. After setting their intentions, they followed the directions, and their journey began. The app led them deep into a dark forest, and finally they reached the pinned location. Not only did they find signs that someone had been living there, but they also discovered clues that something unsettling had been going on, like a Ouija board and bizarre structures. Things took an even creepier turn when they saw this.
Let's fucking get out of here, man. Oh, look, dude. There's masks everywhere. It's in the trees. No, look, on the trees, there's all masks. Every tree's got... There's someone down there, man. Quick, go over here, go. Go. There's someone over there, you dickhead. There's someone there.
A figure seemed to be standing behind a tree, and as soon as they noticed it, they ran off in panic. After some rest, they decided to head back to take a careful second look.
I don't know, how do we even get out of here? Go!
And there it was again.
Go.
This time they knew they wouldn't return. They were certain they'd never use the app again. Two campers had ventured deep into the forest when they came across a small hidden pond, perfect for cooling off. But then, this happened. Somehow they got away without a scratch, but that day could have easily ended in tragedy. A couple of months ago, someone snapped this photo while staying at a glamping pod in Shrewsbury, UK. They had just arrived with their partner when they took the picture. Nothing felt strange at the time, but later, while looking back at the photo, something stood out. In the window, there's a face, watching. When they first posted it online, people claimed it was fake, a photo frame, a reflection, something explainable, but they insist it's none of those things. And outside that window, there's a drop of about 8 feet. Too high for anyone to casually walk by, let alone stand and look in. So, who was in the window? The area didn't feel creepy, but their dog growled at thin air more than once during the stay, almost like it sensed something they couldn't see. Jay Brannon visited an abandoned church next to a graveyard on Long Island one night. At first, everything seemed normal, but then he noticed bright flickering lights coming from inside. The lights continued to flash on and off, growing even more intense, almost as if reacting to his presence. Not daring to step inside that night, he returned the next morning to see if the church was truly abandoned. When he arrived, the place was completely empty, with no signs of anyone having been there. After doing some research online, he discovered that the building had suffered 3 fires and been struck by lightning twice. Maybe the strange lights weren't electrical at all. Maybe something from the past was still lingering inside. Dennis was exploring a dense forest when he heard something nearby. As he lowered the beam of his flashlight, he caught sight of something. The creature appeared to be feeding on something, crouched low, with glowing eyes cutting through the darkness. Dennis managed to capture it briefly on camera before running off. Was this a dangerous animal or something else entirely? What do you think? 18-year-old Jolie Callan was hiking the Pinhoti Trail in Alabama with her ex-boyfriend Lauren Bunner. While she was taking a photo of the stunning view, Lauren took this photo of her and posted it on his Instagram. But right after the photo was taken, Lauren shot her twice and pushed her off the cliff. He later called the police and calmly confessed everything. They had dated for about 10 months, but Jolie broke things off because of his controlling nature. Despite that, they still kept in touch and shared custody of a dog. 2 months after the breakup, he convinced her to go on one last hike. Lauren was later sentenced to 52 years in prison. While hiking, a Reddit user nearly stepped on something remarkable and shared a photo of it online. It was a wolf spider carrying dozens of babies on her back. The sight was both fascinating and spine-chilling. Not something you see every day, or want to see every day. A group of friends were driving late at night down a deserted forest road. As they rounded a bend, their headlights lit up a chilling scene.
Que é isso, véi? Meu Deus do céu, cara. Que porra é essa? Será que eu passo? Que é isso? Passa, Thiago, passa, véi. Passa, véi, acelera.
Multiple figures stood in the middle of the road, like a cult caught mid-ritual. What did they stumble into that night? And the real question is, why didn't they hit the gas and get out of there immediately? A hiker was trekking through a snowy area when something caught his eye. An icicle, frozen in midair. It looked as if the water had just stopped, suspended while falling. Did he stumble upon something truly unnatural, or did he just capture the perfect angle, making it look like gravity was being defied? A hiker ventured deep into the forest one night to perform a ritual he found on the dark web. It sounded bizarre, but he was curious enough to try. While performing the ritual, he suddenly noticed something.
Okay, I went into the woods on, I guess, the wolf moon to do a ritual from the dark web, and something is actually happening. Can y'all hear that or see that? Not the drums. Here, let me flip the camera. Oh, I had my keys. Bro. They're everywhere. I swear, if I go back and watch this and I don't see any eyes,
Multiple glowing eyes staring at him from the trees all around him. There were too many, and whatever they were, they clearly weren't human. He posted about the experience online, calling it the most terrifying moment of his life. But after that post, nothing. No updates, no follow-ups. He was never heard from again. Were the eyes just animals, or was it something far more sinister watching him that night? And the biggest question of all, why would anyone perform a dark web ritual alone in the middle of the forest after dark? In June 2019, YouTuber Lou Rock ventured alone into a forest near Fox Road, Massachusetts, a place haunted by the unsolved murder of a girl named Tammy nearly 30 years earlier. Armed with only a flashlight, a spirit box, and a camera, he planned to stay just 30 minutes. But things took a dark turn fast.
What the hell was that? Guys, I don't know what the hell is going on. Whoa! Guys, I'm hearing stuff all around me. Tammy, can you come and talk with me, please? There's something over there, guys. Dude, oh my God. Guys, I'm here all by myself. I don't even know what the hell to do. Hello?
Strange noises began to surround him. Still, he continued toward the spot where Tammy's body was found.
Guys, this is freaking nuts. This is crazy. Like, I found a McDonald's cup. It sounds like there's somebody... There's somebody out here, guys. There's somebody out here.
More strange sounds echoed through the trees.
Hello? There's that fucking noise again. And now I'm trapped in here. Shit. What the hell can that be? I think somebody's messing with me, guys.
Startled, Lou decided it was time to leave. But as he turned to go, he noticed this.
Oh my god, there's somebody behind me, guys. Yo, you better stay away from me.
A dark figure, watching him from the trees. Terrified, he left immediately. While hiking off-road in Bosnia, user Freeze Huddle came across a strange spiked object. Unsure what it was, they snapped a picture and shared it online. Another Reddit user quickly pointed out that it might be an unexploded ordinance, which can be extremely dangerous. They warned, if it is that, the safest thing to do is leave it alone. Don't touch it, shake it, or try to open it. But just imagine, what if someone had accidentally kicked it while walking? A guy was camping alone in the woods, but around midnight he realized he was living a nightmare. Hundreds of insects were swarming all over his tent. At first he tried to ignore it, thinking they'd eventually go away. But then some started squeezing in through the tiny openings. Would you dare to open the tent or stay inside, hoping they'd leave on their own? The creator behind the channel Uncanny Expeditions went on a solo camping trip near Area 51. A secretive US military base surrounded by alien theories. In most of his exploration videos, not much happens, but during this trip, things got interesting.
Alright, so I'm riding along and I just caught my first glimpse of the facility. I can see one of the big radar dishes off in the distance. Alright, so I'm at the western fence line, looking towards some kind of a small little building there. Here's the main cluster of buildings, at least on the surface. This looks like it's mostly hangars and storage facilities where they store models and airframes. You can see the radar too. They blast it this way downrange. They've got a small little gate on the western fence here. No drones. Pretty typical signage.
He camped on a hill overlooking the base. At night, with his night vision camera, he spotted some activity.
After about 5 or 6 vehicles entered the facility, things kind of calmed down. I wasn't sure if I was going to see anything, but after a while sitting there in the dark, things started to get interesting. The first thing I noticed was a light appeared on the ground. It was too faint for me to see with the naked eye, but through my nods it showed up very bright. This was indicating to me that the hatch was most likely opening to the underground silo. Wow, this looks crazy. They got it rotating up there on that pylon. Keep in mind, if this isn't the clearest video in the world, it's being filmed at over 1 mile away, probably close to 1.5 miles away, and in pitch dark conditions. Like there's no lights. They killed all the lights on the runway. They really didn't want this to be filmed. But I've got my PVS-14 night vision device here, and I have that stacked with my spotting scope. And yeah, hopefully this is going to come out cool. I can make out the vague shape of the craft. I can see the nose, and it looks like 2 vertical fins. I think the aircraft is upside down. They're spinning it around too, so.
A strange aircraft appeared, spinning around. Did he capture a UFO or some highly advanced military aircraft? Is this what we're not supposed to see? One night, a driver was cruising down a creepy, bumpy dirt road when he rode past what seemed like a tombstone nearby. As he continued driving, he noticed a small, pale figure standing right in the middle of the road. The driver slowed down, not sure what he was seeing, and as he got closer, the figure, a hooded figure, stood up and moved out of the way without showing its face. Why would anyone do that? And I wonder, did this really happen, or is it staged? When a homeowner left her cabin in the woods to grab groceries, her surveillance camera sent a notification, and this is what she saw. A bear had quietly slipped in through a window. It walked straight to the fridge, opened it with surprising ease, and started digging through. After grabbing a bag of food, the bear calmly climbed back out the window. The outdoor camera caught it heading back into the woods, food in mouth, as if it were just another day. It might look amusing, but this kind of thing isn't harmless. If someone had been home, things could have gone sideways real fast. At the very least, she knew one thing. She'd either need to buy another bag of that food, or maybe not. A group of friends woke up startled while camping in the forest after hearing a close sound. They stepped out of their tents to see what was going on. As they scanned the dark woods, their flashlights caught this. A figure, completely still, watching them from above. Their friends froze, unsure of what they were looking at. The figure seemed almost unnatural, like it had been waiting there for a long time. Was it an animal, a person, or something else? And honestly, what's worse? A man went camping in Colorado when he heard the loud sound of rattlesnakes and decided to check it out. As a nature lover, he wasn't scared like most people would be. Instead, he followed the sound and discovered a huge den filled with prairie rattlesnakes. The snakes got a bit defensive as he got closer, but after capturing a good close-up shot, he backed off and left them alone. That night, he made sure to secure his tent extra well. During his hike, this man got lost in the woods. By 11 p.m., he was still wandering, and finding a way out was getting harder in the darkness. As if things couldn't get worse, he started hearing something moving in the dark. Panicked, he scrambled up a tree, thinking it was his only shot at survival. From his perch, he listened closely. The sounds weren't like anything he'd ever heard before, and he had no idea how dangerous it really was. He stayed up there for hours, until he finally felt safe enough to climb down and continue. Thankfully, he found his way out before 3 a.m. Ahmad heard strange sounds around his property in the woods, coming from underground. Confused, he recorded this video.
6-foot hole dug here, and we've hit rock, but listen to this.
He dug about 6 feet down and hit rock, but the sounds kept happening.
I mean, it's really loud.
Some think it could be evidence of something being built underground, while others suspect a gas pipe or a leak. That theory is especially worrying. If it is a gas leak, digging deeper could risk an explosion if ignited. Still, all the theories felt strange to the man, especially since it was such an isolated area in the woods. He still has no explanation for it. This hiker had just set up camp near a river when, out of nowhere, he heard this.
What the heck am I hearing?
It didn't sound human, but it didn't sound like any animal he recognized either. Was it just a known creature in distress? He never found out what made that sound, and maybe that's for the best. This Reddit user shared a story about a house near where they live in the woods, one that's unsettled them for years. According to the post, something changed recently. Though the house had always looked off, new writing appeared about the house and an old RV parked beside it. Scrawled across the home were the words, 23 people killed this old man. The RV echoed the same message, along with a list of names. What makes it even more unsettling is that a bunch of children's toys are scattered in the backyard, and no one in the area seems to know what the words are about. The user wonders, what happened here? Earl and his dog Ice were on a day trip through Sequoia National Park. The weather had closed off some areas, so they weren't expecting much. But what happened next made the trip unforgettable. As they sat in their car, a bear casually walked up and began inspecting the vehicle. Ice stared calmly at the bear from inside, while Earl filmed the whole thing. Then it even jumped onto the truck. After about a minute and a half, Earl slowly rolled the car forward. The bear hopped off and wandered away. What a way to get closer to nature. Justin Brown had been noticing strange-looking people living in tents near his hometown of Lompoc, California. Realizing the potential danger, he decided not to investigate in person, but instead flew a drone over the area. To his surprise, he discovered an entire colony of strangers living just a mile from his home. He had no idea who these people were or where they had come from. People online were also curious about the blue flickering light captured in the footage. Sadly, there have been no official updates, but some commenters mentioned that the entire colony had vanished the day after the drone footage was taken. What were they doing there? A Reddit user posted about something creepy their neighbor spotted on a trail cam. At first, they thought it might be a werewolf, but the weird part is, they've never heard howling. What's even stranger is they used to have packs of coyotes around, but now they don't hear or see them anymore. It's like the coyotes just vanished. The neighbors shared that they had been feeling like they're being watched, but couldn't quite explain it. People are wondering if, whatever this is taking out the wildlife in the area. Two friends decided to venture into Bohemian Grove in broad daylight. While exploring, they came across the owl statue. The deeper they went, the more unsettling it felt, and the mystery surrounding the place only made it creepier. Could all the stories about Bohemian Grove be true? And if they are, just imagine the dark things that may have taken place there. A hiker was camping deep in the Appalachian mountains. While wandering through the forest, he suddenly heard something. A series of disturbing noises echoing through the trees. He froze, trying to pinpoint the source, but saw nothing. Was it just a wild animal, like a lynx or a bobcat, or was something else lurking in the Appalachian mountains? Either way, he was lucky he didn't come face to face with whatever was making those sounds. Oliver, a YouTuber known for his fly fishing videos, headed to Yellowstone National Park in July 2022. After a long day of fishing, he searched for a spot to sleep, even though camping outside designated areas is illegal in the park. He parked his camper in a quiet spot by the river, but as night fell, the silence became uneasy. Around 12:30 a.m., this happened.
Coming, sir.
Hey, dude, sorry to bother you, man. It's a little late.
No worries.
Unfortunately, there's no camping in here. Are you the only one in the vehicle, brother?
It's just me, man.
All right, can you step out? You got a license on you, brother?
Dude, I'll have to get my wallet, man.
Been doing anything? You okay? Where
Yeah,
you from,
man,
brother?
just, actually out of Boise. Just doing some camping. I did not know it was illegal.
Yeah, dude, so unfortunately, you can't camp in Yellowstone at this place. You're going to have to come here, brother, to get out.
No problem. I do apologize.
No, you're good. Let me see right here, brother.
Yeah, here.
It turned out to be a ranger patrolling the area. Luckily, Oliver got off with only a warning. Shaken by the experience, he left the place, knowing he'd never make that mistake again. A Facebook user shared a photo from their family reunion in a park. At first glance, it looked like a regular happy group shot, but once the photo was developed, something strange stood out. In the background was an old man, lit so brightly he almost looked like he was glowing. No one at the reunion remembered seeing him there. Some think it might just be a statue, but it looks too real, too detailed. And the user swears there was nothing around that could have caused it. It's gotta be something paranormal. A guy was out in the woods on a trail he knew well. But when he reached a certain spot, he said something just felt off. He couldn't really explain it, but whatever it was enough to make him take notice. Later, he hears this.
I think it's time to go.
He's convinced it was something demonic, though people who watched the video think it was probably just a cougar, since they're pretty common in those woods. And honestly, I agree with that. But still, we don't know what the man felt that day. A Reddit user once visited the Shanghai tunnels in Portland, Oregon, a place infamous for its haunted past. While there, they took this photo. They claimed it captured the ghostly figure of a woman, believed to be a prostitute murdered around 1900. One commenter shared their own experience from a ghost tour in the tunnels 5 years earlier. As they turned a corner, they briefly saw a pale, bluish face peeking out from behind a pole. It vanished in an instant, but the image never left them. Many others chimed in, backing up the story with eerie encounters of their own. Something is definitely going on down there. After leaving a campground in Lone Pine, Tanya and Dave planned to spend the night in the parking lot of an old hotel near a casino, a common stop for road-weary travelers. An abandoned amusement park nearby gave the area a strange kind of charm, but as night fell, the charm quickly faded. Then, another car showed up.
There just like randomly came up to us and asked if we were, first question was veterans, and now he's driving around the parking lot. Dude, it's kind of creepy. So I let the security guards know, but he's out there just hovering around the parking lot. Oh man, that's a little unsettling. So I just turned the lights off. Oh my gosh, trying to cook dinner. This is crazy, Dave.
It's crazy. I know it is. The guy's racing around the parking lot.
Racing. So I just turned the lights off. Hold on, let's close this up. I gotta finish.
Unnerved by the repeating circling around their vehicle, they packed up and left in a hurry. No one knows what might have happened if they hadn't. A Reddit user came across a creepy stickman doll while hiking in the woods and snapped a photo to share. What made it especially unsettling was how it hung on a tree. No nails, no ropes, nothing visibly holding it in place. It just sat there, suspended on its own. They didn't touch it and simply moved on. The user said it was the first time they'd ever seen something like that in real life, and it left them feeling uneasy. Maybe it was meant to scare people, or maybe it was part of something darker. It remains a mystery. And for more chills, watch this next video.